Time for some nightmare fuel. Them. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live at 9:45 in the morning here on the 25th day of October in the year of our spooky black cat overlord, Steve the Cat. It's Wretched Wednesday. It's time to take a look at this week's installment of my continuing Wretched Beastery series for the Red Room. This week, it's insects and spiders. And yes, I know spiders aren't insects, but yeah, I was going to include them. So, yep, this one took about a week and a half to research. It's got about... Oh, there's some wasted pages on here. I don't know why Miguel did this, but it's got 15 different references that I did, including, if you ever want to know what the largest insect in the world is and the smallest insect in the world is, here is some frightening facts for you. There are over 10 quintillion insects on the earth at any given time, according to entomologists, estimating that they make up 95% of the biosphere of Earth, with as many as 5 million different species. 10 quintillion insects on Earth. If I made an installment for every insect on Earth in this book, it would have taken me like a couple lifetimes. The largest insect known is the Chinese walking insect, or the Chinese stick insect, stick bug. They can grow up to 25.2 inches, and the smallest insect known is the fairy fly, which is about 139 micrometers or 0.005 inches. The most venomous insect in the world is the harvester ant. And I guess the safest insect in the world is they're all horrible. As for spiders and arachnids comprise over 100,000 named species, with 51,000 are spiders. The rest are crabs and lobsters. And no, I didn't put crabs and lobsters in this one because I was saving that for if we do Wretched Underwater. The largest known arachnid spider in the world is the Goliath bird eater of South America. Its leg spans can be up to 12 inches long, and its entire body can be up to 6 inches, and it can weigh up to 7 pounds. Meanwhile, the smallest spider known is the arthropod mite, which is about 125 micrometers. The most dangerous arachnid in the world is the funnel web spider of South America, whose venom is 40 times different, who injects you with 40 different toxic proteins and can kill a human in under 10 minutes. So when you're wandering around South America, stay away from spider. The most popular insect in the world is the ladybug or the butterfly, and the most feared insect in the world is spider, and pretty much universally, everyone hates wasps. So this, obviously, again, I didn't feature every single solitary insect in here, just the ones I thought were game appropriate. So, of course, we've got real world insects, like just general insect swarm, general insects, locust swarms. A swarm of locusts can destroy a crop of 1 acre of crop in about 10 minutes. So, if you're wondering about, just how bad those locust swarms are when they descend upon the breadbasket of America, yeah, just consider that there's hundreds and thousands of them in the swarm, and your average swarm of locusts can destroy 1 acre of crops in 5 to 10 minutes. Fire ants, of course, are in here. Got to put fire ants in here. Bulldog ants, which are the most dangerous ant in the world. They can go up to about 16 inches. They're the ones if you remember Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones, the scene with the ants where the ants drag that guy, that was these guys. Then, of course, we have the giant spider, the giant stick bug at 25.2 inches. Venomous spider, which can kill you in 10 minutes. The stats for the largest spider, look at that picture right there. Boat flies, got to throw those in because they're just gross. Blood-sucking ticks, also got to throw those in. And, of course, the mosquitoes. Approximately 1 million people each year still die from mosquito-related malaria. 1 million people. every year still die from malaria spread by mosquitoes. So yes, they are still dangerous. I know people are like, oh man, mosquitoes, whatever. It's like, dude, 1 million people a year die from malaria still, and this is 2023. Then we have, of course, I had to throw in plague fleas, the fleas infamous for the Black Plague. True facts, of course, as everybody knows, the Black Plague was not spread by cats. It was spread by rats. And by killing cats, they let the plague last longer than it ever should have because there was nothing to hunt the rats that were carrying the fleas that carried the Black Plague. And the Black Plague is still a thing. There are still cases of the Black Plague being reported to this day. So again, yeah. I got to throw in the tsetse fly with their sleeping sickness thing. And then, of course, wasps, because wasps were just pure evil and nobody likes them. And if that's not bad enough, there's the giant murder hornet wasp with their 3-inch long wingspan and their 1/4 inch long stinger. Those are the ones that people, whenever you read about wasps, non-invasive wasps entering an area, that's these things. Yeah, so these are wasps that are about the size of a cell phone. And then, of course, the pet spider, the pet tarantula. Your average pet tarantula is going to cost you about $150 to $200 just for the setup, and about $150 each year for care and feeding. A tarantula in captivity, if taken care of, can live up to 30 years. Imagine having the same pet tarantula for 30 years. That's a commitment. Then I have to go with the made-up insects. And the one everybody suggested on the website was they wanted a insect that was based upon waffles, because I always reference waffles. So I've created the waffle bug. And then I have the hub grubs, which are my take, of course, on the rock grubs. I couldn't call them rock grubs, so I called them hub grubs. These are the little worms that when they get in you, they worm your way inside your skin and slowly work their way to your heart. Ah, good. Just blah, gross, scary. Got to have a kaiju spider in here. So you throw in a kaiju spider. Then, of course, if I'm going to do insects and I'm going to do fantastical fantasy insects, I got to have Mothra. I got to have the stats for Mothra. Mothra, the only kaiju who's been consistently a good guy since day one. Mothra shows up, Godzilla versus Mothra, good guy. Mothra, still this day. Got to remember, Gamera did not start as a good guy. Gamera started as a bad guy, but then became a good guy. But Mothra has always been the queen of monsters. So here's all the stats for Mothra. Obviously, I couldn't call it Mothra, so it's just kaiju moth. Then we have Undead Spider. Okay, so you've seen these probably at Halloween stores. This is a skeletal spider that is on sale every year. They usually run about $5. Please tell me what is wrong with this picture. If you have passed basic science, you know what is wrong with this picture. But I'll give you a couple seconds just to remember. Time's up. Of course, what's wrong with this picture is spiders do not have bones. So this monster is impossible. Spiders have exoskeletons. Now, I suppose you could say, well, somebody built a skeleton to resemble a spider. But yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, there's no such thing as an undead spider because they don't have bones. Then we've just got some other insects that I've added in here, like writing insects, radioactive spider. Got to have a radioactive spider in here. Fire beetles, tunnel worms, giant worms, astral worms, giant tarantulas, just all sorts of horrible things out there. You know, mechanical insects, glowing insects, just all sorts of things from fantasy and science fiction and video games. Probably should have thrown in some more pictures. Actually, I thought I did throw in more pictures. I wonder when Miguel didn't use them. There's tons of free pictures of insects on the internet that you could use. So I don't know why he didn't choose to use them. Then, of course, I had to add in stats for spider folk and insect folk. So here's the wretched stats if you want to play a spider folk and then a typical spider folk. And then the wretched stats if you want to play a mantis folk. And then, of course, a wretched stacks if you want to play a kabuto or beetle folk. That That's not inspired by anything, is it? No, it's totally inspired by Kamen Rider Kabuto. Anyway, so this is how you can play a Kabuto or Beetle folk in Wretched. And then here's the differences between poison and venom, the rules on swarms, the rules on the Black Plague, the rules for being swallowed whole by a giant insect, and then the legal stuff and the 15 footnotes. I look this shit up for you guys. I don't just make this shit up. Them. You know, it's about every one of these is a week to 2 weeks. And half of that time is me going to websites and looking shit up, like what's the world's largest spider, or calling people, you know, calling zoos or calling animal places and going, like, what's the most venomous insect? What's the most venomous reptile? So, yeah, I research these things. So it's the time and effort. I don't just make this shit up. Even the fantasy ones are based upon real world insects. And there you go. So if you're thinking about what you could do with that extra $3 that you have laying around, you could buy this because it's $3. It's on the Wretched site and on Giant Slayer Games. It goes to support me. It goes to support Miguel and Sylvia. It goes to support the next one, which is going to be Cryptids, Urban Myths, and was already looking to be about 40 to 50 pages of urban myths worldwide. I'm still working on that one because there's a lot of them. And then, of course, Demons, and that'll probably be it for the year, I think, because by the time I finish Demons and get it on Miguel's shelf, we're actually backlogged now. Slime is next, then Cryptids, then Demons, and so that should take us probably until December, January. So Cryptids will probably be the last one for 2023, and we'll start 2024 with Demons, and I've got some other ones. We still haven't done Underwater. We still haven't done Normal People, just a book of NPCs for Wretched. We still haven't done Normal Animals, you know, dogs, cats, lions for Wretched. So that's still out there. And I'm sure there's other things people want to see. I don't know if the Beastery is more popular than the Wretched Vigilante stuff. I mean, it costs less and it's stuff you can use for any game. The Wretched Vigilante stuff is kind of very, very niche. Yeah, if I could do it over again, I probably should have done it differently, but I'm happy with what it is. So why haven't you bought this yet? Why are you still listening to me talk? Head on over to the link down below. Pick this up. Everything you've ever wanted to know about the 10 quintillion species of insects that are crawling across the world. And if you didn't hate insects before, by the time you finish reading this, you will now. You will now. Just know that there is an insect out there whose venom is so potent that is the equivalent of 14 different toxins being injected in your body at the exact same time. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? You thought the Black Widow was bad. Oh, no. Or how about a spider that's the size of a dinner plate, or an ant that's the size of a cell phone? Yeah, those are out there. Those are real.